Oh my God. All right, well, this has been a scavenger hunt already for sure, but what's been even a bigger scavenger hunt is trying to locate paperboy. So we have been playing text tag with each other for about an hour. That's how big this place is. So we finally found a common landmark where we could meet up with each other. So we're about to do that right now. All right, there he is. I see him in the red shorts. See him right there? There he is. I love sneaking up on people being 6'6" and 250 pounds. There he is. Snuck up on you. You believe I could sneak up on you?
Oh, wow.
What's going on, man?
What's your boxes?
What do you think? Do you approve? I need to know if I have paperboy approval of these posters.
I love goodwill.
You do. But I do need to see if I get the official proof. I got 8 of these for 25 bucks.
Oh, you did well.
Yeah, and then snuck in the middle of here, you can see this little, pull that plastic thing. I want to see your initial reaction to it. Pull it out.
Oh, I pulled it the wrong way.
Okay, there you go. Tell me what you think.
Nice.
1932 and 1933. There's 2 of them in there. $5 for both. So that was pretty good. I was checking to see if they were repros, but they don't look like it. Yeah, I looked them all over. So anyway.
One of the ways you can tell too, unless somebody really goes far, it's got the dirt on there.
Yeah.
And as long as it's not reprinted dirt, in other words, somebody made a copy, so that's real dirt for sure.
But you know, it looked like it was in really nice shape for 1933 and 1932. Like the colors are nice and bright and stuff on it. It's got Tarzan on one side, folds out.
I bought a nice big box of papers out here for $25 that I really didn't even search through, so I may have.
You got any goodies in there you could show us that you got already?
Sure.
Now, if you go to the $1 Million Peddlers YouTube channel, you're going to see all sorts of stuff about paper, including
got these.
Oh,
civil defense.
Very nice.
$10 for all of them.
I would have picked that up.
Can't go wrong with that.
Nope.
I took a chance. I know that there is a Dance Life magazine that's good from the 40s, and I'm not sure if it's this one or not. So I took a chance on it at $5.
This is so funny how alike you and I are, because yesterday I just posted a Life magazine from 1943. So
there you go. And the only other things I'm carrying with me right now, paid $1 a piece. 1800s religious book.
How much did that cost?
$1, and then $1 on this over here, which is not in the greatest of shape, but it's
you could fold that corner up though.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's for the Boston store, so it comes from
the
store.
That's cool.
So I know that'll go for $20-25 around Christmas time. So
all right.
Not argue with that.
How long you been here?
We came yesterday, and we'll be posting a video about yesterday that it was probably the worst day of thrifting as far as when you go in some of these fields, you're almost swimming.
Yeah.
Absolutely terrible.
Yeah, for those who don't know, we have massive flooding here in central New York. A lot of people got flooded out of their homes. It's really bad. So yesterday was probably a mess here.
It was brutal, and about a third to half the dealers didn't even open after like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. They just shut down. And dealing in paper, paper and water are not the best.
They don't mix. They don't mix.
Real well.
So it was good. It's better today?
Oh, it's much better today.
Much better? Okay. Did you eat anything yet?
I have not eaten yet.
You want to get some lunch?
Certainly.
All right. All right, I want to formally thank Paperboy for purchasing me lunch here. So we've got a Philly ribeye here and some fries. What'd you get?
I got BLT, PBLT, pork belly, lettuce and tomato.
Awesome.
Sound awesome, and some fries. And if I could take 1 minute of your time here, I want to give a public service announcement to everybody out there. I had told Dom earlier that we were going to have some trouble meeting up because my phone had no sound, and that is absolutely true. We were walking around yesterday out here in the rain, and I got water all up in here and ruined the phone. So if you're walking around in the rain, don't put the phone up in your pocket up over here.
The water just rained into it?
Rained it because it was raining all day long. Water got all in there, so I can talk on the phone, but only on speaker.
Okay.
So let that be a lesson to everybody out there in the rain. Don't leave your phone out.
All right. Thanks, Dave.
Hey everybody, it's Paperboy and Daddy Paperboy and
Papa Paperboy.
Papa Paperboy. That works a lot better. So Dom got me a little bit inspired when we were walking around, and he had showed those beautiful rodeo posters that he had. So I had to go out and get my own rodeo thing over here.
Now,
really nice.
Did you get those after I showed you?
I did get them after.
Okay.
You inspire me. You inspire people. Paid $10 for this. Got a nice Levi's ad in the back. I think you can go pretty well on that.
I like it.
This ties into a lot of the $1 Million Peddlers bolos. We always talk about first issues, and that's the reason why I bought this. There are people out there that collect first issues of magazines.
Right.
So this is going to end up selling because I'm going to market it as the first issue.
Okay.
Another quick little bolo over here, and you know who did the art on this because you know Mad Magazine?
Hold
Jack,
on. Jack Davis.
Jack Davis, yeah. His stuff actually sells. It's a style everybody knows, and his items definitely sell. So it's not the greatest of shape, but a lot of people don't know Jack Davis because they don't know that he sells.
So you got to put that in the keywords.
Yep,
for the listing.
SEO keyword search on that one.
Yeah.
Another one that will definitely sell, Ansel Adams.
Okay.
I saw this over here. It's about a $30, $40 item, something other like that. You can market it as Ansel Adams. And now I'm going to put you on the spot here, Don.
Oh, no.
Here you go.
Oh.
Do you know what is good about Strand magazines?
Strand magazines.
Strand magazines. This is 1901.
It's an early one.
You can just say no.
Well, I think I might know though.
Okay.
So, because I've seen those before. Certain ones,
Yep.
I can't tell the date on that.
1901.
Because don't the early 1900s ones have Sherlock Holmes stories in them?
Very good. 1891 was the
That
first
one?
Sherlock Holmes. This does have an interview with A. Conan Doyle.
Oh, okay.
His stuff always sells. So I
'Cause you
paid
could-
$5 on it. Not the greatest of all conditions, but without looking it up, I would think it's a $40 to $50 magazine, just off the top of my head, without
Very
doing any
good.
more research.
Very good.
So that's a bonus bolo. Do
Awesome.
check out the $1 Million Peddlers if you could,
Absolutely.
and check out our bolos.
Yes. Great channel. Great channel. And check out my interview with them. I'll link to it up top if you haven't seen it.
Well, that was a great lunch. Time to do some treasure hunting. Oh no, it's that music again. Hey, primetime. What's a man like you walking around all alone for? Hey, don't try to put that spell on me. You can't escape my spell, primetime. Why don't you come on over here and open my drawer? Oh no, what are you talking about? I gotta get out of here. You can't escape us, primetime. We'll follow you wherever you go. All right, stop the music already. Jeez, look, we've got comic books here. Now, this is crazy. This guy wanted $500 for 2 boxes of comic books. Listen, just tonight as I'm filming this video, I just got back from picking up 350 comic books for $50. So I got them for 15 cents a piece. And ironically, this guy's selling this bag of coverless comic books for $2. So I just grabbed those, and I grabbed this Bible coloring book for $2 as well. It's a nice vintage book, and as you can see there, hasn't been colored. So that's ideal, if you can't find any of the pages colored. So I have it listed in my eBay store for $17. It's from 1958. This is my favorite comic book rack ever. I picked comic books off of a rack like this when I was a kid with Richie Rich and the superheroes up top. I passed on it because they're asking $580 for it, but it's awesome. Now, this Ronald McDonald's head was pretty cool too, but I passed on it because it was just so big and had too much damage. Now, what I did not pass up on was this wooden Buddha statue. When the Buddha has its hands up like that, that is referred to as a happy Buddha statue. So you want to put that in your keywords for sure in the title. I was listening to the guy who had this talk to another lady, and she was trying to buy it, and he said he wanted $15 for it, and she walked away. So I said, hey, how about $10 for it? He said, yep. So now I have it in my eBay store for $50. The reason I filmed this sequence was just to give you a sense of what it's like when you're actually embedded within this massive antique festival. I mean, you could seriously get lost within it. There's all these cool extra buildings and stuff, like one that's devoted to Lionel trains, and then there's other ones devoted to all sorts of collectibles all over the course of 2 miles. Then there's all these different tents that you could go to, some smaller, some bigger, but there's literally hundreds of them, and you could just be there all day. Like just in this tent, you could probably spend like an hour or so. Now, this guy over here I was drawn to because he had comic books, but you see, he wanted $5 a piece, and that's just not a good buy for these type of cartoony comic books. So this is another one of the things that I love to do here, which is to just walk along the street and you come across all these old houses with antiques and vintage items all over the lawn. And once you start walking in, you just start coming across more of it, and it's all around you. This time, I was walking near the sound of saxophone music. How much did it all cost, folks? All those calendars for $5. I couldn't believe it when he said it. So as you can see, I was very excited. These comp very well, but for some reason, I haven't listed them yet. So this is one of the houses, and I'm zooming inside of it because the treasure hunter in me is just dying to know what is in there that I can't get right now. But this is just another example of just one of the many buildings that are all over this place. So I'll take you inside one of them just to give you a little peek. And you could see like there's like this table here just loaded with all sorts of cars, and then there's all sorts of books in there. But it's such a nice day and stuff, and with all the stuff outside, I just couldn't stay in here, so I went back outside. Now, this actually surprised me. I love Garbage Pail Kid stuff, and I actually thought about just picking these up for myself, but I really try not to do that. But these actually don't sell for much at all. There's still a ton of them out there, and they are from the 1980s. I was very, very surprised to see that. All right, folks, here we go. In this tent, I hit the Rock and Roll Jackpot. This is a stash of about 19 or 20 newspapers called Rock. They were all published in the 1970s in New York City. There's some amazing covers on here. Like we've got Cat Stevens. We've got the Rolling Stones in LA. There was one magazine here called Cream with Ozzy Osbourne on the cover. We'll go over the comps on that one in a moment. We've got Greg Allman from the Allman Brothers. I mean, these are so old that Rod Stewart was called Roderick Stewart back then. So the guy wanted originally $100 for all of these because he knew they were so difficult to find. We got to around 70 at one point in the negotiation. I wanted to do $60 for it, and finally he relented at $60, and I am thrilled to get him for $60. When I saw this Jimmy Page one from Led Zeppelin, I said that's got to be the one that I start with to try to sell. But where to price it, right? I mean, I only found like one vague reference to that newspaper on Google. So like that's how hard it is to find. Now, for this Cream one, which is also from the 1970s with Ozzy Osbourne on it, that one is easier to come up with a price for because, as you can see here, a better version of it sold for $107.50 on auction. I have mine listed for $95 because I have some condition issues with mine. All right, so what I did with the newspapers is I took the one that I thought was the best one overall, the Jimmy Page Led Zeppelin one. I priced it high at $180, and I might adjust that over time. And once it sells, I'll use that price as the basis to decide what I want to price the other ones at. All right, now this is another tent that I wanted to show you because some of the tents actually specialize in certain types of items. So this one here was a tent dedicated all to glass and ceramic items. I just thought that was so cool. Then I went into another tent, and a lot of them are more miscellaneous, but I saw this Garfield book. I wanted to point it out to you if you ever see it, because look inside of it and you might find this certificate of authenticity. You could see there it's signed by Jim Davis. This is an amazing book. If you can find it with the COA, you could get up to around $80 to $100 on it. But she knew what she had, and she wanted like $50, so I passed. Yeah, so I just wanted you to get a sense of how peaceful it was out there. Now, in addition to the tents, they also have these massive wooden buildings. They're almost like gigantic barns. Inside of this one, you could see there were just tables and tables of comic books and all sorts of other collectibles. I'll show you a collectible here that was really expensive, and it's just a reproduction right over here. This is amazing. They wanted $2,600 for it. So could you imagine what they would have wanted if they had the original? My goodness. But I stuck to the comic books. I had passed by here earlier in the day with Paperboy, but I wanted to swing by at the end of the day to see if I get a deal. And sure enough, I got a deal on these Mad magazines. There's also some other vintage humor mags like Crazy Magazine and Sick Magazine, like you see on top. The guy just didn't want to carry this stuff home with him. They were just about getting ready to close down the building. And he said, if you want them, they're yours for $25. So I said, deal. I didn't even bother looking through all of them because I just know, and dealing with Mad magazines all the time, that this amount of volume is totally worth it for $25. So now I needed a way to carry this around with me. So I took everything out of my big box that you see there. I took the Mad magazine box, put it inside the big box, just like you see there, and then put a little cherry on top.
You know, when I first got here, my car was parked all the way down there by that red shed. So thankfully, I decided to come back at a later point and move my vehicle here, which is not as far away from the street, and made it much easier to put those books in there. But as I was walking out here and just saw this awesome space just all around me, the fields and everything, it just reminds me, sometimes you just gotta stop what you're doing, stop the hustle for just a moment, and just appreciate everything around you, because it's just amazing. Feels good to be out here, folks. Just love it. All right, so as you can see here, I'm back at Primetime Treasure headquarters, and I'm processing this lot of Mad magazines. Now, these are all the Mad magazines right here, and as you can see, there are some other magazines besides Mad. So we've got Cracked magazines here, nice stack, and then we've got some other miscellaneous ones like Sick and Crazy. But the reason I'm showing you this is, again, to emphasize the point of why it's so important to look at the bottom of boxes. You never know what kind of treasures are hiding there. So as I was pulling these Mad magazines out, I saw this stack of comic books on the bottom. Now these ones here that I pulled out, these are all ones that are pretty damaged, so I would just use them as part of a crafting lot. But over here, you could see ones that are in much better shape. And literally, as I'm going through it like this, when I got to the very bottom, it was literally the last comic right there on the bottom. This one right here. Can you believe this? Wonder Woman 108. This is a golden age comic book, 10 cents, from 1959. So, considering that this has been sitting on the bottom of a comic box for, who knows how long, it's in pretty nice shape considering. I mean, it definitely has condition issues and stuff, but I'm going to do well with this. I mean, this alone should pay for the entire box. So looking forward to getting this one listed. Now the cover is detached, which does take some of the value down, but as you can see, I have it listed in my eBay store for $60, and it has several watchers. So again, always dig to the bottom.